this stiff that I drafted out of TCU and that other guy out of Stanford. Can you please find a way to make them part of the offense?
Hey, Sirianni.
Yeah, hey,
we all see it.
You got a sec? Yeah, we all see it. Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly.
But I mean,
it's bad.
You can't say anything other than, all right, it's the eye in the sky doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
The production you have is the production we see.
And welcome back to the middle. Barrett Brooks and Harry Mayes. And we're talking about Miles Sanders, who looks to make his return to the lineup this week after being on that short-term IR. And that's really one of the sort of the mysteries about this week's game is how are they going to incorporate him back into the offense, which has now sort of found its groove as a run-first offense. It's kind of ironic how this all, turned out as he goes away,
right.
Injured, and all of a sudden they become a running team. Yet he's the number one back, and the guy that was for some reason in mothballs on the practice squad for the first couple of weeks of the season, which we couldn't figure out why anyway, is now sort of a front and center focal point of what they do. So how does Nick Sirianni and Shane Steichen, sort of bring Sanders back into the fold here without really sacrificing, I guess, their success?
Yeah, it's almost like you're looking at you're going to mess up the whole chemistry that you have, going for the last 2 weeks, or 3 weeks. You don't want to mess that chemistry up. You don't want to mess up the vibe that they have, and I doubt seriously if that would happen. I think it'll be a smooth transition for Miles Sanders to come in and be that, I wouldn't necessarily say bell cow. He's not going to be a bell cow back because they don't do things like that in NFL anymore. But I can see him being a guy.
Well, this
coming
team
in.
especially doesn't.
Right.
I mean, there's a bell cow in Tennessee, but he's obviously hurt. But that's a definition of a bell cow.
Yes, that's the only guy that's doing that right now.
Right.
That's the only guy that can do that right now for the past 3 years. But I think it's gonna hurt Kenneth Gainwell. I think the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna cut his reps from he already wasn't having but 2 or 3 reps a game to none. But like I said, how can you put it? I mean, is he that much of a dynamic player to put him in there somewhere else? Is he a necessity to have on the field? Maybe he takes reps from somebody else. Do they believe that he's one of those guys who can come in and be that much of a threat that we have to find a way to put Kenneth Gainwell on the field? At the running back position, we don't need him right now.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We don't.
I like your idea of putting him in the slot and maybe taking some of Reagor snaps.
That would be amazing. That would be the best bet that they can do. Because they preached all this competitiveness and the best player is going to play and all this, throughout camp.
Yeah.
Let me see you and put your money where your mouth is. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what you're really talking about because Jalen Reagor, I'm sorry to say it, and I played with his pops. Me and his pops like this.
Yeah.
And he just not doing anything to be that dynamic player. And I don't want to hear any excuses. Because if you're the player that you saying you could be, you're the player which we thought you could be, and we drafted in the first round, you would be doing more. You would do a lot more, but you're not. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say anything but all right, you haven't showed me enough to think that you could be on this field and be a integral part of this offense. You haven't showed me that.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't done anything. You've done something one game, and then you got hurt that game. Since then, you still haven't done anything. You're a first-round pick. You're expected to play and play immediately and play at a high level. You haven't shown the ability to do it. Man. And I don't want to hear, he's just throwing the ball to Smith. Well, if you're open, Jalen Hurts is going to get you the ball.
All right. Maybe you could have his pops start an Instagram account and start putting video up of the all-22 saying that Jalen Hurts isn't intentionally not throwing to Jalen Reagor.
Exactly.
We can get him out of town. You think Howie would be like he'd pull Sirianni aside into one of the little meeting rooms and be like, dude, you're a wide receivers coach by trade. Can you please do something to help me look better here with this stiff that I drafted out of TCU and that other guy out of Stanford? Can you please find a way to make them part of the offense?
Hey, Sirianni.
Yeah, hey,
we all see it.
You got a sec? Yeah, we all see it. Yeah. Oh my God. Honestly.
But I mean,
it's bad.
You can't say anything other than, all right, it's the eye in the sky doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
The production you have is the production we see. You are what your production is saying you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear any excuses. Oh, they're not getting the balls to me. Or they're not. No. You can't.
Do you still get access to the all 22?
Yes.
So
I don't get it till today.
Oh, okay. So from the previous week, like you'll get Denver stuff today.
Yep.
So you'll be able to go and look, go back and see on however many snaps Reagor had, like what exactly he did. I'd love to know that. I'd wish we could go through that as you're looking at it.
Oh, I wish we could.
Yeah.
Because I'd find my circle. Excuse me. I'll circle him,
mm-hmm.
and I see like, look, here's what he has right here, and I'll watch the route, see if he's doing anything. Because what's making Smith a good player is his ability to create separation in his route running. You know what I'm saying? He separates. He does the little things. Even though he's small,
yeah,
he still bends his routes in a manner in which he gets that separation.
Yeah.
Like, on his routes, when you're a receiver and like you might have an inside route or you might have an in or an out. When he's attacking the DB, he's running right up on him. He's looking him eye to eye, squaring his face, and he's going at a full speed. Then he makes the move. A lot of the times I watch Jalen Reagor, he projects the move before he even does the move. Like if he's going that way, he'll be moving his body that way,
kind of leaning that way.
Then go that way.
Yeah,
it go the same way he's moving.
So he's basically putting a blinker on before he turns to tell the defensive back, yeah, I'm going this way.
I'm going, he'll go like this, and all of a sudden he'll still go that way. I mean, you can fake him or something, but he's not doing that. Or you use your body.
Mm-hmm.
You get there to him and you bend into him, lean into him a little bit, and then create that separation to come out. He doesn't do those little things that create separation. There's a lot of things you can do to give yourself an advantage, especially as a wide receiver in this league, because a lot of everything that they're doing is to help the offense.
Right.
They're giving the offense the autonomy to do so much. Like you can't touch them after 5 yards. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Think
about that.
Once they hit 6, you can't touch them anymore.
Back in the day, you used to be able to just hang on to guys and literally mug them down the field.
Look at this. I'm playing. It was my first year. I don't know if you guys remember. What was his name? Freddie Solomon.
Oh yeah,
with South Carolina State wide receiver. We're playing. It was my second or third year. We're playing Dallas, and Dion is lined up across from Irvin Fryer.
Mm-hmm.
So he runs a slant on him. He goes, boom, boom, runs a slant on him, catches the slant. He goes again. He runs another slant. Boom, boom, catches a slant. He goes out again, catches a slant. So now Dion is pissed because he's caught like 2 or 3 slants in a row on Dion. You know what I'm saying? This is Irvin Fryer.
Right.
So all of a sudden, it's time for Freddie Solomon to come out there and give Fryer guy a rest. So he gets in there. He has the same thing. He has a slant, and he knows he got him. And at this point, Dion's not even tripping off who's in the game now. He's pacing back and forth. Man, this dude keeping the slant. Why does he keep catching the slant on me? He catching the slant. Why does he keep catching the slant? I'm in the game. I'm looking at him. He's pacing. He's not even worried about the snap count or anything. He's just pacing back and forth in front of Freddie Solomon.
It's not Freddie. Freddie was older. Freddie was with the Dolphins and the Niners back in like the 80s and stuff. It's a different Solomon. If you're thinking of a Solomon.
Hold on now. Let me see. Hold on. Let me look it up.
There's a Jesse Solomon, but he would have been gone by then too. He's a linebacker.
No. Let me see.
Freddie.
What's Freddie? I think it was Freddie Solomon.
Well, the Freddie Solomon played from 75 to 85. I remember him with the Niners.
Let me see.
Wait, that's another Freddie Solomon. Let's see if this is a different one. This has to be it. It is Freddie, but it's Freddie Lee Solomon Jr. Different Freddie. South Carolina State. Okay.
Yeah.
He was only in the league 3 years, all with the Eagles.
Right.
But
exactly.
I had him confused with the original, the OG Freddie Solomon.
Yeah.
Who was with the Niners with Montana. I'm thinking, wait a second. That guy played with Montana.
Right. Freddie, it's my guy. Freddie preached talk this. Oh, baby, it's Freddie, baby. That's the way he used to talk, man. He was my guy.
Fred Barnett, too. There was another Fred. I love that guy.
Well, look, let me finish the story. So
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
After Urban Fryer ran all the slants on him, he's in the slot now. Now he's gonna run the same slants. He already saw Urban Fryer run all these slants on. He's I'm about to get him. So at this point, Deion is pacing back and forth during the snap count. He's not even worried about Freddie. He's like, oh man, I got him. So then it was on two. He said, down, set. So Fred did like this. Oh, I got him now. Hut. And as soon as Freddie came off the ball, he did like this. Deion grabbed him, boom, threw him on the ground and started pacing again. While the play is still going on, he was still pacing, talking about how Urban Fryer had just ran all those slants on him. Boom, threw him on the ground and stood over him and then started pacing back and forth while the play is still going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
He'd have gotten 2 flags for that today.
Exactly.
He'd have got defensive holding and a taunting foul.
Exactly, man. It was crazy, man. I mean, that's how physical it used to be with wide receivers and DBs.
Right. And Deion wasn't even a physical player. He was just pissed off.
He was so pissed off and he did that, man. So pissed off. And I can remember battles with Bobby Taylor and Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it got to a point where those two were fist fighting on routes. You can't do that these days.
No,
they let those receivers do everything. Yeah.
That was football.
Great football there.
Great football.
Man, I'm playing against, I can remember I'm going against it's El Gato, Leon Lett, and then I have Charles Haley. I'm over Charles Haley. Talking about some battles, man. I mean, every single play was a battle. I was fighting for my life, man.
Does he have like 5 Super Bowl rings?
Yeah.
Charles Haley?
Got 5 of them. Yep.
Yeah.
He's got
between
5
the Cowboys and the Niners, right?
Yep. And I can remember what was his name? Who else is on the team? They had a squad back then, man. A squad. Everybody on their team. They had that played at a high level, man, was there. Crazy. That team won the Super Bowl that year too. Super Bowl that next year.
He was like 6'6".
Yeah.
Charles Haley.
He was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, crazy.
All right, I'm going to go back here to these standings because I see people in the chat saying that 2 losses max over the remainder of the season, and it's possible. I agree.
Oh,
like that's the number, because if you can, that would get you to 9-8, and I think 9-8 you have a chance. I'm not saying you're in, but you have a chance with all the tiebreaker teams that they've already beaten. If they got to 9-8 somehow, and I don't care how you do it, but I think you'd have to beat the Saints this week.
Wins, beat one of them, and then we have to beat one of those teams twice and split one and beat the Jets, and we'll be good.
Yeah, you beat the Jets. I mean, I'm almost like, you got to count the Jets as an automatic.
You have
in this scenario.
Yeah,
I know that's scary to do, even in with them. I get that, but I think that's one that you'd have to count as an automatic. I mean, they could lose to the Giants and/or Washington. I don't care how bad either of those teams might be. That can happen each and every year. I mean, Washington stepped up and beat Tampa. I mean, it can happen.
We should do well against. We should do very, very well against all the division. In fact, I think we'll do a lot better against Dallas, regardless if they had Dak Prescott or not in there, because their biggest kryptonite is a team that runs the ball. So they can't stop the ball as well. They can stop the pass, but they can't stop you when they run the ball consistently, because that's how Denver beat them.
Right.
They ran the ball and then went over the top on play action. That's how you beat a Dallas team.
And Dak looked like
he looked trash too. Yeah,
he looked terrible. That was the first.
They were dropping everything.
Yeah.
They were dropping everything. All tight ends dropping everything. So they can beat, even now, head to head, they have a legitimate shot of beating Dallas with this run game. People understand how unique it is to have a run game which nobody can stop, because